Hi, I'm Star, and I am back from the dead. So I haven't made a video in like 2 months. I don't really have an excuse. I just didn't have the motivation. But today I do. Also, I am going to be playing that game again, Little Misfortune. No one asked me to. That video only got like 20 views, and it was really bad because like a lot of the gameplay didn't actually record. So there was like 3 minutes of gameplay in the entire 7-minute long video. I'm a really good YouTuber. Gonna play that again, probably alone. And you're gonna like it. Also, I have a little announcement for the end of this video, so stay tuned if you want that. Anyway, on to today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about something that's it's a very hot button topic right now. Because I want those views. Also, it's pretty seasonally appropriate. Today, we're talking about Disney's Frozen 2. Anyways, so I saw that movie, and, well, let's just say I have some thoughts. And today, I'm going to share them with you because it's my YouTube channel, and I can do what I want, and you made the mistake of subscribing. So you're gonna have to put up with it. I'm just kidding. Please subscribe. If you haven't seen Frozen 2, or you just don't want spoilers, you don't want to watch this video right now, watch Frozen 2, the movie by Disney, starring Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell. Then come back to this video starring me. You know, because I'm gonna be talking about a lot of like spoilers and stuff. So just, you know, be warned. So I have some points that I'd like to make about this movie. And first, let me say, I enjoy Disney movies. I think Disney as a company can suck my dick, but Disney movies are super fun, you know? They're super nice. I like them. Okay, so item number 1, this movie did not have enough iconic songs, okay? And I mean, okay, I watched the movie, then I listened to the soundtrack. There's like 6 or 7 songs in the whole movie, and it feels like there's 8 million. It feels like the whole movie is just one song in a bad way. Like, I like musicals. I really do. I enjoy musicals. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I don't even like musicals. I don't know how to sing. But anyways, like, I really like musicals. Like, I enjoy musicals. I think that a lot of the songs slap, and I like Disney. Okay, the first movie, like, we all know that all the songs were overplayed and the movie was overhyped and all that, but also Let It Go slaps, and you will never change my mind. Let It Go, First Time in Forever, Do You Want to Build a Snowman, First Time in Forever Reprise, the stupid troll song that no one really liked, the summer song, the snowman, it's like, you know, like he's a snowman, so he's gonna die if it's summer, but he wants to see summer. See, it's funny. Also really fucked up, but, you know, mostly funny. Anyway, so those songs... Sorry, a middle-aged man just walked outside my apartment building. Okay, there was one, maybe 2 iconic songs, but Into the Unknown, like, is okay. It's no Let It Go, let me tell you that. And I have more comments on that song, but we'll get to that later. First of all, the only, like, perfect, like, dramatic ballad, you know, like Let It Go, or like, you know, like this, you know, the sad songs that we all really like, because they're really dramatic, because we all really like drama. I'm literally tearing up. So the only really good song from this that, like, you know, you can sing along to and feel cool to is the one, like, Next Right Thing is what it's called. And it's basically Anna talking about how her sister and Olaf have both died, and the love of her life is missing and probably doesn't actually love her anymore. And she's stuck in a cave, and she's contemplating just sitting there and waiting for death to come instead of actually trying to get out of the cave. And then talks about just going through the motions to, you know, continue to live this shell of a life that she's now got, you know, trying to survive without the people she most cares about in her life. So So that's fucked up, but you know, we're having fun. So you know, that was a good movie, you know? Like one of my favorite lines from the movie is so depressing and holds so true for after something traumatic happens. She says, "And with the dawn, what comes then, when it's clear that everything will never be the same again." Anyway, so yeah, that's uplifting. So aside from the fact that the only good song was incredibly not age appropriate and dealt with some very deep, painful things, and that's not me saying that kids can't understand or process deep emotions, because of course, you know, they can, like obviously their brains are still, because there are a lot of children's shows and children's, because kids are very smart, they can understand, and when you have a character that's, and I'm not trying to underestimate that, but also, that's fucked up. This is a movie about a fucking princess and a talking snowman, okay? We didn't need to learn about going through the motions after something traumatic happens and you're dealing with the fact that your life could never be the same as it was before. We didn't need that in a children's movie. I'm just saying, like, Let It Go was iconic, you know? How to Build a Snowman, iconic. These songs started fucking cultural revolutions. Once that movie came out, everyone was like referencing, "Oh, let it go, can't hold it back anymore." And then like being like,
"Do you wanna build a snowman?"
Like everyone was doing that shit. Even I was. And when that movie came out, I was still in my like emo, anti-pop culture kind of phase. It was like, when I say iconic, I mean iconic. Okay, that was it sloppily made? Yeah. Were there some like plot holes and shit? Yeah. Did the plot twist make zero sense? Absolutely. But you know what? It was iconic for a goddamn reason. I just spilled water on my phone. I need to set this down. But this movie, it just didn't have that panache. You know, the only song that was even like remotely close was like, again, that song about Anna wishing she would die. And that was almost too dramatic. You know, everyone loves a dramatic power ballad. But you know, this really, it missed the mark, you know? And you know what? There's this scene where she's like walking through and sees like moments from her past, and she sees her singing Let It Go, like from the first movie. And she's like,
"Oh, it's embarrassing."
Wow. So the most, I get that, you know, people made fun of it a little bit because it got so overplayed and overhyped. But like, Disney, shut the fuck up. You know what, if you're gonna make a power ballad that people fucking love and then make bank off of it, at least own up to it, you know? At least show that you're proud of it. But no, you have this cheap little moment which is like,
"Oh, that's so embarrassing that I sang that gorgeous fucking song about coming out. I'm walking up dramatically up a hill, and then I have this beautiful plan, like I'm not digging in the hair, and then, bitch."
I'm just, ooh. They really don't get it. They don't get it. You know what I mean? And that brings me to my next point, okay? They made this song that was like supposed to be kind of a like cheesy like rip off of like cheesy 80s power ballads, right? And like it could have been great, you know? But and okay. So I'm only 18. I obviously wasn't alive in the 80s. My parents were, of course. And I feel like our generation still has kind of a connection to like cheesy 80s things. Like I'm old enough to have seen 80s music videos and be immersed in like 80s culture because everything nowadays is an 80s throwback, you know what I mean? Stranger Things, Pose, It, you know. But like, not that I'm complaining, okay? Those are great. And like I get the reference because I've seen that culture, so like I would get the reference. But these fucking 6 and 7-year-olds, it would go right the fuck over their head, especially the way that they did it. Like if you're gonna do a if you're gonna do a cheesy 80s like power ballad music video style scene, you gotta go whole hog. You know what I mean? Like you can't just throw up a couple graphics that are like kind of cheesy. You can't just have a guitar riff or a little bit of synthesizer in one part and say, "Oh, everyone will get it now." Like, bitch! No, you gotta go all the way in. Like, it's like they were sitting on the fence, you know? And they wanted to be dramatic, but they couldn't be too dramatic. Like, bitch, lean in. Lean in. That's the only way that shit works. Like, you can't just be like,
what if we made this song like reminiscent of an 80s power ballad?
you gotta be like, bitch, it's a power ballad. Sit the fuck down. This is an 80s power ballad. Slam it in your face. Oh, the cheesy graphics. Oh, the terrible audio. Oh, the fucking synthesizer. Oh, the fucking guitar riffs. You know, like, fucking shove that down my throat. Bitch. Go big or go home, bitch. Pick one. Fuck. Like, you gotta take that shit and you gotta make it obvious. Okay? If you remember, I was talking about the song Into the Unknown before. That's the song, like, if you've heard any ad about Frozen 2, it's the song that's in that. It goes like, into the unknown. You know? That song features an artist named Aurora, and she's one of my favorite artists of all time. I love her, okay? How can I explain to you what Aurora is? It's like, if Hozier is a man who was captured by the Fae 500 years ago, Aurora is the Fae that captured him. Like, if you were wandering through a Norwegian forest, tiny clearing, and saw an albino demon, a puddle of moonlight, and then it adorned with beautiful crystals, glowed this beautiful, wondering if it was real or a dream. That's Aurora, okay? Watch any interview with her and you'll understand what I mean. She's great, she's amazing, and Disney got her. They got her. They could have done anything, but she just did some fucking vocals, some fucking... You know? And like, yes, her voice is amazing. Yes, it's haunting and beautiful. Yes, she knows how to do that thing. That was perfect. She's amazing, and she did a great job, but like, God, if it was me, I totally would have had her do like a Nordic-inspired, you know, song, even just for the credits. Like, she should have her whole...
She should be a character, bitch. She should be a character.
And then she and Elsa should fall in love. Beach! But that didn't happen, because Disney's a slut and doesn't know
Shit.
On to my second point about why this movie ain't shit. It was not nearly gay enough. Like, the Disney leading up to this movie were kind of like hinting that maybe it would be a little not heterosexual with Elsa. Because we had the whole campaign on Twitter that was like, give Elsa a girlfriend, because everyone wants Elsa to be gay. Everyone wants this, Disney. You will make money, I promise. I will give you money. But Disney was like,
Well, just kidding.
like, if you're gonna have a movie end with a straight relationship getting engaged, you gotta give me at least a little gay subtext, okay? At least a little, just a little bit, but
Just a little bit. Just feed me, I'm so hungry.
but they didn't. So, fuck. Disney is just so fucking scared of having an LGBT character, and it's so shitty. Like, we're at the point where it's not even like that controversial anymore to have an LGBT character in a children's show. Like, you've got She-Ra, you've got Steven Universe, you've got Adventure Time, all these children's shows making fucking bank, and they've got canon LGBT characters. There's a non-binary character in both Steven Universe and She-Ra, and they're making fucking
Bang.
bitch bank. Okay, you could do it, bitch. Do it! Walt Disney wasn't a great person by any definition. But at least when he was in charge of Disney, they like pushed boundaries a little. Even when Snow White came out, like, that was the first time that, you know, women had really been given the spotlight in voice acting. And that was pretty sexy, you know? And then, like, you know, during the Disney Renaissance, we had the first Disney princesses who actually played active roles in their own stories and saved themselves and were heroes, you know? We had the first Disney princess of color, and then a second, and then a third. And yes, Pocahontas was shit. Yeah, it was super historically inaccurate. Yeah, it was pretty racist. But, like, she's a Native American Disney princess. And that shit's pretty fucking cool. It's not even controversial that much anymore. Like, I know they're not trying, like, they're just trying to get that conservative family to come and buy their movies, and they're too scared. But, like, at this point, you're just making regular people angry because they just keep begging you again and again. Like, don't be so worried about poisoning the children with gay representation. The children are already gay. Give them someone they can look up to. You know what I mean? I don't know, that pisses me off. But whatever, Disney, you do you, I guess. you're making a lot of money, and you make me want to
Die.
Moving on to my third point, this movie is the classic case of sequel syndrome. And by that I mean, this is my number one rule of writing, and this really applies to anything that I've said so far. If it's not necessary, don't include it. And that definitely applies to sequels as well. Like, if you don't need a sequel, don't make one. Frozen, the way that it ended, it wasn't open-ended. We didn't have any more questions. There wasn't anything to build upon, but it made so much money, of course they made a sequel. If something doesn't set you up for a sequel, there shouldn't be a sequel, unless the sequel really expands on that universe in a meaningful way. You know what I mean? I don't know. It definitely didn't need to be made, but then also, like, it was clearly just a cash grab saying,
Oh, you liked Frozen? Well, this is kind of Frozen.
and then didn't bother to actually make it good. You know, a lot of the things that we really loved in the first movie weren't continued in this movie, and it's okay to be different. Obviously, things are different now than they were at the beginning of the first movie, so of course things are gonna change. But like, we liked the first movie and most movies because they were working together. We saw these characters, you know, learn to appreciate one another, but they got split up like really quickly in the movie. Like, they were all on their own, you know? And that kind of like took away, like, if they had really explored their individual like journeys as they were on their own, that would have been cool. But it seemed like it just didn't serve a purpose. They were just like,
We want this shit to happen, but it can't happen if this character's there, so I guess we'll just have them split up or whatever.
you know, and it's like, it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That part, I wanted to see Anna and Elsa together because we didn't really get to see their dynamic in the first movie because they were rarely actually together. And when they were, it was in situations of peril. And so I wanted to see their dynamic, and I feel like we didn't really get that, at least not in a meaningful or realistic way in this movie, which really sucks. But then also, like, the conflict of the movie was really scattered. Like, there were so many different things. It was like, oh, chase this voice. Oh, save the island. Oh, you know, go to the memory place, whatever. And it's like, they couldn't settle on one, so they had to resolve each conflict super quickly. So like, you know, her taming the fire element and the water element and whatever was like that. It took no time. Also, it would have been way sexier if you had people to represent that. Like, the lizard was cute and stuff, but like, you didn't do anything with the animals other than the water horse or whatever. But it's like, you know, you could have done, it could have been better. I'm just saying, could have been better. Could have been better. Also, like, with the whole thing with like the town falling apart and stuff, like, I know they explained that in the end, but like, how come that didn't really play into the plot much at all, other than them being like,
Well, guess we gotta go somewhere.
you know what I mean? Like why'd they do that shit? What was going on with the town? You know what? What were they doing? While they were off doing their little adventure. You know what I mean? Like, huh? But then also, let's talk about the fact, this is gonna be brief, but when the first movie came out, people were like,
Oh, it's white.
and by people I mean,
Me.
it was just all white. Like, there was not any character of color in fucking whenever it came out, far past the point where it would have been okay to have a character of color. And so it was just completely white, and people were like,
Well, that's accurate.
first of all, I don't know that it was. Second of all, the magic and shit, and talking animals and shit, yeah, that's not historically accurate. So why the fuck do we care if having a black character isn't historically accurate? Like, why do we go to times in history where there were only white people in an area and say, oh, that's why there's only white people, but then don't ever go to times in history where there were only people of color in an area, other than Emperor's New Groove and Mulan and Aladdin. That's 3 movies in the entire Disney filmography that have no white people. But I bet I could rattle off 1,000,000 movies that have no people of color in them. So why are we doing that shit, huh?
Tell me. Tell me why.
So anyways, they had one black character, proving that black people exist in this universe and that they're just, like, choosing not to represent them. So they're like, well, there's black people in Norway, but just one. Just one. Anyways, and then not only is he the only black character, but he's also, like, a colonizer. Like, the whole thing was them murdering indigenous people and taking their, like, resources. So, just blame blame white people. Just blame white people. Cast a black character that isn't like complicated or morally ambiguous or villain, you know? Like,
Just try.
Just give it a whirl.
you know what I mean? I will say one good thing about this movie is I think that the Elsa's character arc is really like fitting, you know? She didn't fit the royal life, you know? And in the beginning of the movie, we just saw that she felt trapped. Her whole life, she just felt trapped. And then she finally lets herself let it go, and, you know, be free and live the life that she wants, and then she's dragged back to the kingdom anyway, decides to live her own life somewhere else. I think that's a really great tamed by her expectations that have been, you know, pushed on her. Somehow be okay after so much emotional, and her desire to adventure herself and the world around her. And I think that's just great. That's a great ending for her. I think they did a really good job with that. So that was one good thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a lot of opinions, so if you want more videos where I share them, please let me know. And if you enjoy this movie, you know, I'm not trying to bash on you. If you disagree with my opinions, you're wrong. I mean, you're valid. Yeah. Hey, why don't you go drink some water? Look, I'm drinking. I'm not gonna spill it. 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 I'm not. Yeah, you should subscribe, comment, like this video, share it with your friends, please. Also, please don't leave. Please, I have an announcement. So I have started an Etsy shop for my commissions, so it's now easier to get commissions. So yeah, please go there. Please share it with your friends. Please commission me. I'm begging. The link will be in the description. Also, I have a Twitter now. The link for that will also be in the If you have any other ideas for videos that you want me to do, or anything, like games you want me to play, whatever, any comments, you know, please make sure to leave them in the comments, you know? And if you're not comfortable doing that, you can message me on Tumblr, you can send me an anonymous ask there, you know, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. Have a really lovely day. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.